What's up, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever else this ends up. This is Leap. He has blown my life up over the past 10 days. And actually 13 days. And done it in a fairly enjoyable, terrorizing fashion. Here to talk about all kinds of stuff. So what was just happening was I was watching this Rick Gatto interview with, hey, enough. Nobody's gonna watch this, so here we go. Hey, I'm watching this Rick Gatto interview with Eric Johnson, and I started to think, you know what, I'm actually interested enough in this, I'm gonna sit down and watch the whole 40-minute interview or something. And I was interested, and I definitely would enjoy that and get some value out of it, but it's like, they're talking about creation. They're talking about doing stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's actually do the thing instead of talking about the thing, or instead of listening to people talk about doing the thing. So I have a variety of topics on my mind. We're all thinking about this situation nobody wants to hear about anymore, but it's just true. The coronavirus, the virus, and COVID-19, the disease, I believe it's categorized as, that it causes, illness, whatever you want to call it. I'm thinking about all of that and thinking about content and Gary Vee. These are things that I think about because I listen to Gary Vee every day to keep me motivated and keep me in the right headspace, which it almost never ever fails to do. So I'm here and I'm thinking about what this health crisis is exposing, and about how tenuous, how unstrong our economic systems are. And I don't just mean the stock market, of course, that's obvious, but I mean as far as how we actually get to work and make things happen. So I'm very distracted. There's no point trying to wrangle this dude. He's on trazodone right now. He's on anti-anxiety medication. He's still just like, let's go. So I'm thinking about content and how working from home, not only working from home, but creating content to put it out there, not for the sake of being perfect, and not always even necessarily for the sake of bringing something super valuable, although I always try to. That's the selfless thing to do, and it's also the selfish thing to do, because in the long term, that's what's gonna make people interested in what you have to say and make people trust you, is to bring them value over the long term. So, but even if you're not doing that, just to claim space so that you are an internet somebody. You know, the internet is never going to take over real life. It's not gonna happen. To me, instead, it's a gateway to real life. And that's something, that thought wasn't mine. That's a Gary Vee thought. But I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with my podcast, led to teaching lessons. My online presence led to a gig, which led to teaching lessons and doing the real life thing. Hey, you can really dance. Hey. If anybody watches this, just bless your heart so much, so hard. Bless your heart. So I'm not going to go on too much longer. The point is just that creating content now with coronavirus more than ever, it shows you that even if I'm not making money from my content, which I don't make money directly from my content, and my hope is to never monetize my content directly, unless that just seems like absolutely the thing to do. I'd really rather not. Even if you're not doing that, it helps you claim space so that you can be visible, so that you can be a somebody, because it's not that real life doesn't matter anymore, it's that now we have this other increasingly real life that's not the one that we're used to via the internet. And so we can't just be a somebody in real life. We have to be a somebody in real life and on the internet if you have ambitions, you know, that are not the norm. And that leads to the next point, which is the norm isn't going to be around a whole lot longer. Of course, lots of things will go on. Hospitals will continue working the way they work. Lawyers will still go to court, etc., etc. Teachers will still go to schoolhouses, although more remote all the time. But still, the way that we work and what makes somebody valuable enough to be employed or contracted to do work is shifting for everybody. So my advice is make some content, talk about things that you care about, don't feel the need to be an expert. The only thing you are truly expert in is being yourself, because nobody else has your perspective and your experiences. And that's what I try to do, and that's my hope for you as well. So whether it is Australian cattle dogs and rescue animals, or whether it is rocks, or whether it is ships and bottles, whatever your deal is, talk about it. It's the beauty of the internet. Is it used to be if you're in a small town like Germantown, North Carolina, and you were just really into Paul Reed Smith guitars. So far, I've found 0 people to talk about it with. On the internet, there's a lot more, and you can get a lot more niche. I don't know. I might could find somebody here who's really into building ships and bottles. I don't know. I haven't looked yet, but my guess is that through the powers of the internet, I can pinpoint people all over my state, my nation, this hemisphere, and the whole globe who are really into the same thing as me, and they can support you through their attention, because you gotta have attention before you get anything else. They can support you through their attention, and then possibly in other ways as well. So it's more than enough. If you could hear any of this, bless you. Thank you for listening. This has been Leap. I am Josh, and guitars ruin lives. It's a national fact, and it's been super true this week. So, see ya. Bye.